New NotebookLM Cinematic Videos Update. You are wasting hours turning your research into content. Hours designing slides. Hours trying to make things look good. Hours on stuff that has nothing to do with your actual ideas. And the whole time, Google has been quietly building something that does it for you. Not just audio, not just slides, full cinematic videos from your documents. In minutes, NotebookLM just dropped one of its biggest updates yet, and most people have no idea it even happened. I am going to break down exactly what changed, what it can do, who can access it right now, and why this is actually a bigger deal than it sounds. Stay with me because there is a part near the end that changes how you think about the whole Studio Suite together. Hey, I am Hata, your AI educator, and I am here to help you learn and actually use these tools in your work. If you want to stay ahead of what is happening in AI, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell because these updates are moving fast. So let me set the scene here. NotebookLM already had something called Video Overviews. That feature launched back in July 2025. You could upload your sources, click a button, and it would pull images, quotes, and diagrams from your documents and put together a narrated slideshow. Think of it like a presentation with a voiceover walking you through everything. That was useful. But let's be honest, it looked like a slideshow. And if your sources did not have great visuals, your video did not either. You were completely constrained by what was already in your documents. What just dropped removes that ceiling entirely. Google just announced Cinematic Video Overviews, and this is not just a visual upgrade. The whole way the feature works has changed. Instead of pulling static slides from your documents, NotebookLM now generates fluid animations, dynamic visuals, and rich imagery that are created specifically for your content. Not pulled from your sources, actually generated for your topic. The result looks a lot more like a short documentary about your notes than a presentation with a voiceover. And here is what is powering it, because this is where it gets interesting. 3 AI models are working together to make this happen. Gemini 3, NanoBanana Pro, and Veo 3. Gemini 3 acts as what Google calls the creative director. It reads your sources, builds the narrative, decides the structure, chooses the visual style and format, and then checks its own work to make sure everything stays consistent from start to finish. Google says it makes hundreds of structural and stylistic decisions per video. NanoBanana Pro handles image generation, and Veo 3 produces the actual video, the motion, the animations, the cinematic quality. Think about what that means for learning, for presenting research, for turning a dense document into something someone will actually watch. Before this update, if you handed someone a link to a NotebookLM video, they could immediately tell it was AI-generated slides. Now the output genuinely looks produced. That changes how useful it actually is for sharing work, explaining research, or teaching something to someone else. When I first started digging into workflows like this, I honestly felt overwhelmed trying to figure out which combinations were actually useful versus which ones just looked impressive in demos. That is when I found a community called AI Profit Boardroom. Over 2,000 members all focused on learning AI together and sharing what actually works. It taught me which workflows save time versus which ones waste it. The community shares real use cases and practical implementations. If you are serious about using AI to improve your work and skills, check it out. Link in the description. I want to be clear about who can access this right now, because there is an important caveat. Cinematic video overviews are currently available in English only for Google AI Ultra subscribers who are 18 or older on web and on mobile. There is a limit of 20 videos generated per day. Google AI Ultra costs $249.99 per month in the US. That is a real cost, and it is worth knowing before you expect to just open NotebookLM and find this feature waiting for you. Google has not confirmed a timeline for when it will roll out to the Pro plan or the free tier. Based on how they have handled previous rollouts, Audio overviews launched and eventually expanded to over 50 languages. Video overviews launched on web and then came to Android and iOS. Those expansions will likely come. But there is no date right now. So if you are on a lower plan and you see people sharing these cinematic videos online, that is why you do not have the button yet. It is not a bug. It is a staged rollout starting at the top tier. Now, while we are on the topic of NotebookLM updates, this is a good time to talk about something else that just dropped in the same week. Custom infographics in NotebookLM now have a visual style feature, announced March 2nd, 2026. You get 10 preset styles to choose from before you generate. Options include editorial, scientific, instructional, clay, brick, bento grid, and a fan favorite called kawaii. There is also a custom option where you describe your own style using a prompt. You go into the studio panel, click the pencil icon to customize, choose your style, and get a polished infographic that fits the look you actually want. It generates in the background so you can keep working while it builds. When it is done, you can zoom in, download it as a PNG, share it, or rename it. Available for users 18 and over on web and mobile. Now I want to zoom out for a second because the bigger picture here is what most people are missing. NotebookLM is not just an AI chat tool anymore. The studio panel has turned it into a full content production system built on top of your research. From a single set of sources, you can now generate an audio overview that sounds like a podcast, a cinematic video that looks like a documentary, an infographic in the visual style of your choice, a slide deck, and you can run deep research directly inside the tool. Every single one of those outputs comes from the same sources you uploaded. You load in your research once, and the studio generates whatever format you need. You do your research, you build your notebook, and then the studio is your production team. Back to the update, here is how you would actually use cinematic video overviews if you have access. Upload your sources into a NotebookLM notebook. PDFs, web links, Google Docs, YouTube videos, anything you want the video to be based on. Then go to the studio panel and generate a video overview. With the new update, that button now triggers the cinematic version. You do not need to write a script. You do not choose scenes. You do not tell it what visuals to use. Gemini reads your sources, decides the narrative, and the models build everything from there. You are not going to get a video that switches styles halfway through either because Gemini is actively checking its own output for consistency throughout the whole generation. If you are looking to dive deeper into AI tools and actually implement them in your work, I recommend AI Profit Boardroom. Over 2,000 people learning how to use AI effectively. Everyone shares real experiences. What is working? What is not? Which tools are worth your time? Which ones to skip? No hype, just solid information and practical guidance from people doing the work. It has helped me stay on top of updates and figure out how to actually apply them. Link in the description if you want to check it out. And if you want the full process, standard operating procedures, and over 100 AI use cases like this one, join the AI Success Lab. Links in the comments and description. You will get all the video notes from there, plus access to our community of 58,000 members who are using AI in their actual workflows every day. If this video was useful, drop a like and subscribe. I am Hata, and I will see you in the next one.